Ellen Whitaker with her stallion Locarno next to go. Ellen Whitaker looking to carry on the tradition of great Whitaker successes on the final day of the Masters. Both her uncles, John and Michael, multiple winners of this event. Early rail for Ellen.
Again, another rider who's going to have to put that early rail behind her and just say, okay, now I've got to get all the rest of the course jumped clean, put me into that second round.
Well, it took a while, but we've seen now fence number 1 and number 2 come down. Rich Fellers had number 4 down. There's a second rail for Ellen Whitaker.
And at 8 faults, you know, I really believe that she's not going to be getting into the second round. So what she's going to do is she's going to try and finish very well. She has the water jump. You see the flag going up, but she gets over the bicycle. Too strong into that combination.
A day she'll leave behind here in her first CN International. 16 jumping faults for 20-year-old Ellen Whitaker aboard Locarno.
This was not the day that Ellen Whitaker was hoping for. Right away here, the water jump. She doesn't ride hard enough. You can see the horse landing on the tape, and you also see the judge raising the flag. She does get over the bicycle, however, but then towards the end, the double Liverpools catches up with her, but so many people have gotten caught here. Too strong, and the horse doesn't have enough time to rock back and curl over.
3 rails and the water for Ellen Whitaker of Great Britain. Uli Kirchhoff of Germany, 1996 Olympic champion from Atlanta. You know all too well how talented this man is, Linda. You were a member of that 96 team for Team Canada. This is his first time to Spruce Meadows. Of course, he's not here with his great Olympic champion, Just de Palme, who didn't have any career following the Olympic Games of 96. It's Carino that Uli Kirchhoff is on board.
Ulrich for sure has dealt with a lot of tragedy in his life with Jus de Palme, who the horse that you were talking about passed away right after the Olympics and wasn't able to really have that stellar career that he'd been hoping for.
Unable to carry that momentum. Great to see that he has fought back, if you will, and is a regular on the German team and got the selection for Spruce Meadows this year.
The CN Oxer has come down again. The rider's taking it a little bit for granted that the horses are going to jump it really easy, and it just catches up with them. And the bicycle.
So Germany, at least Uli Kirchhoff, looks as though he'll be denied getting into the second round. And any chance of victory here, Germany's last victory, Otto Becker aboard Dobo Cento. Uli Kirchhoff finishing up with 12 faults.
He did have the water as well. We didn't see that, but we've just been notified that the water was stepped on as well. Let's see if we can see it in the replay. Reaches across. The judge goes to check it, and there's the flag. And that bicycle.
Will Simpson's comments on the bicycle, I'm sure, are being echoed in the international warm-up area. For those that have had it down, if they wanted to ride a bike, they would have entered the Tour de France, is I believe the summary statement of what Will had to say. Great Britain's Mark Armstrong will try and sort that out with the feisty mare Thesara.
It'll be interesting to see if the bicycle doesn't get burned at the end of the day. The riders may try and take it and put it in a bonfire.
It's difficult enough, and where Leopoldo Palacios has placed it off the bending line from the water makes it all the more challenging. Now, as often as it has come down, that really unimpressive final Oxer too has come down with the plain brown rails just past the outgate. So concentration important at every turn on course here.
Yeah, and that Oxer, the CN vertical, or the Oxer red and white one, it's come down quite a few times before the Canada plank. Actually, the Canada plank has not come down hardly at all today. Mark over the water. Ooh, but he mows down the bicycle. Maybe he was trying to break it for the other riders so they wouldn't have to jump it.
That was nicely ridden.
Oh, and heartbreak at the last jump.
The brown rails and the bicycle jump take their toll once again, this time with Mark Armstrong of Great Britain aboard Thesara.
There's the water jump, and he really gets his horse back. She jumps it in front, but just drags her hind legs right through it. Right there, doesn't even flip up with the back legs.
Little question. Well, here's a French rookie at Spruce Meadows that's been impressive throughout the tournament. Brought a couple of nice horses. Her selection today is the Little Grasshopper, Singali du Talais. This is Eugenie Angot, competing as an individual.
She won the first competition right out of the bat at Spruce Meadows here this week, and she has been on fire all week. Her horse is jumping great, and she's just really enjoying the sunshine in Calgary.
Well, and she's been pulling double duty. Her groom, unfortunately, fell down the stairs at the hotel the first day here. Has been on crutches, so Eugenie's been working the split shift, getting the horses ready, feeding them, doing all those types of things with a smile on her face the whole time. And right now she's working on a clear round in the first third of this course.
Nicely over the water. And the bicycle, no problems. Now, does she understand that she has to settle for this combination? Whoa, really slow.
She gets through, however, sizing up the final obstacle, and in doing so comes in just under the time allowed. That is the fourth clear round. France joins the United States, Canada, and the Netherlands.
This horse jumped fantastic. Really a lot of air between the jumps and this horse. Look at the last jump. That's the best we've seen the last jump jumped, and you can see the turf really breaking up at the bottom there. That's not because of weather, that's just because the horse grabbed a bit of turf.
The cleats ripping up the lush green turf of the international ring as Eugenie Angot makes her way back. She is guaranteed her ticket to round number 2, and here's a man that's been in top form at the Masters tournament. Jeffrey Wells, double clean in the Nations Cup with Armani, and it looks like the horse is still fresh today.
This is my pick to win the competition today. Jeffrey Wells and Armani have been jumping so well. Clean round after clean round. A winner already here this week. The reserve rider for the World Equestrian Games. Yeah, that's a great view of all the crowd on the course.
Bursting at the seams here at Spruce Meadows. 60,000 plus on hand for the $1 million CN International. 4 clear rounds to date. The fastest 4s will join the clear ranks in our second round of competition.
Jeffrey, a very fast rider across the ground, so time should not be a factor for him.
He's had plenty of time to watch how those before him have attacked this next line, which has been problematic as he moves on towards the water.
Good ride to the water jump, very aggressive. Now he's got to get his horse back. Beautifully ridden.
He moved to the outside of that water jump, more to the east here in the international ring. Maybe the ground's better there, but it certainly allowed him to set up nicely for the bicycle jump and onto the Liverpools now. heartbreak at the final fence. We've seen it before. It comes out to strike Jeffrey Wells and Armani, stopping their streak of clear rounds here at Spruce Meadows. 4 faults, 74-09.
Watch how consistently smooth Jeffrey is with his hands, really looking to the next jump over that one oxer. And this oxer, a surprise. The last one on the course just touches that back rail. We've seen it come down quite a few times here today. The riders are just not quite asking the horses to reach across the width of that brown oxer.
Unable to cover it, although it looked like Jeffrey Wells had set Armani up almost perfectly to post a 5th clear round. It is not to be. His time looks pretty good, though, to assure him a ticket to the 2nd round as we're into the latter stages. 40 horse rider combinations qualified to start today. One of them, Jos Lansing, world champion from Belgium. He's aboard the big Chestnut Turbo.
This is not the horse that he's won the CN International before with. That horse was a horse called Kumano, a big gray stallion. This is another horse of Innistrang.
Very nice gelding, has ridden him for a number of years at the Nations Cup level. Jos Lansing, in addition to his new world champion title, has an Olympic gold medal, a World Cup title, and a CN International on his resume. Has been a big player in the big leagues for quite some time now and has a rail at that unassuming oxer again.
The CN red and white oxer comes down. Now that's been more in play than the Canada planks. Very unusual jump to fall so often. The back rail catching up with many of the riders, as is the back rail of the last oxer.
Although he bought a break at the Dutch bicycle jump, Turbo hit it quite hard. It did not come down. And that indeed is unusual, as he's sitting on 4 faults now, looking to keep it there to assure himself a ticket into the 2nd round. Nicely over the final fence. He goes to the accelerator. That was a KG veteran at work. 76.51. He knows time is important in the final standings here.
You'll also be very disappointed with that fence down. The red and white CN oxer, here's a look at it. Now, is he perhaps trying to turn just ever so slightly early, doing the roll back to the Canada planks? That could be what's catching the horses and riders. Of course, the width is catching them, but maybe they're anticipating that turn a little bit too much.
Well, we don't know what the reason is. It's got the solid bottom. That might be catching the horse's attention. It has certainly come into play a lot more than we thought it would. Ian Miller, I know, would be concerned about it right now, coming off what he considers to be a highlight of his career here at the Masters. Finally, after so many decades of being held out of the winner's circle in the BMO Financial Group Nations Cup, Team Canada rode to the occasion. And this man in particular, through his jump-off win against Great Britain's Michael Whitaker. He's now underway in the late going of the CN International 1st round aboard In Style, 2-time champion Ian Miller. His teammate, 25-year-old Erin Ballard, has already guaranteed herself a position in round number 2.
The silence in the stadium is very interesting because they are all riding with Ian Miller. He's got to ride hard to the water and now get his horse back for the bicycle.
Well, always a favorite, always a hero, but after the delivery of the jump-off win in the Nations Cup, he's gained even more legendary status, and right now he's sitting on a clear.
One jump to go. And there you have it, another clear round for Ian Miller.
Ian Miller on In Style takes the Maple Leaf into round number 2, much to the delight of 60,000 plus fans that are crammed into the Spruce Meadows grounds, enjoying the very best in international show jumping. And this guy just keeps writing chapter after chapter. Started his Olympic career in 1972 in Munich and has not missed since. He gets to go another round at Spruce Meadows today.
Another great shot of the crowd, you know, really on all of the areas in the international ring that they can be up close and personal. Here's a look at him over the triple combination. Ian really asking in style to reach out over those oxers and then settle up for the vertical. Great ride.
5 clear rounds thus far at Spruce Meadows, and there is the reaction of the man who has just posted the 5th clear in this opening round of competition, Ian Miller of Canada. Lisa Silverman has to leave that behind her. Her focus now, continuing her hunt for the 2nd round, and with that, the possibility of winning a 2nd leg in the $1 million CN Precision Series. Both her and BZ Madden in play today. Lisa Silverman, our 2nd from last to go in this 1st round of competition. Anything more than 4 faults will deal you out of the equation today.
Ooh, Lee's very long, and she's in the water.
That horse didn't even take off. Ooh, twice in a row it didn't take off. And that is a tough, tough way to end a dream here in the international ring. Lisa Silverman aboard Obelex R. Problems at the water, and then big problems at the bicycle jump.
Just over reacted after the water. You know, she really pulled back, and the horse wasn't too sure, you know, is he supposed to go forward? Is he supposed to, you know, slow down? Here you see her riding hard, but she leaves way too long right in the middle of the water, and then just a miscommunication between Lisa and her horse.
Seem to have got things organized now, but it is academic after the foot in the water and the refusal. They will incur time faults in addition to the 8 jumping faults they have incurred, and they finish up strongly over that final fence. But there you see the final running time. Total result of 11 faults for Lisa Silverman, and really just a bad 50 meters.
It was a miscalculation on her part. Right away at the water, she waited too much before she rode hard to the water, got there long, splashed in the water. Then she really hauled her horse back and then wanted to go forward. It was simply a miscommunication.
Little mixed messaging going on there with 1 rider left to go, and what a final 1st round entry he is. Michael Whitaker, 2-time champion of the CN International, and the man that went into a jump-off showdown earlier in this tournament against Canada's Ian Miller. Miller came out on top with that one. Whitaker goes to the crop early here to wake his horse up. He does not want to see a lazy rail like we saw with Laura Kraut earlier with Anthem.
Another very neat and tidy little horse, tucking his legs. Perhaps not the most powerful, but very effective and conservative over the jumps.
Insultec Mozart Desayet, a 10-year-old Belgian-bred stallion, and so far showing lots of airtime here with Michael Whitaker.
Nice ride to the bicycle. This is a smaller horse, so the combination shouldn't be too tight for him.
Not at all. Uses himself very efficient on course today. Look at the time here. No problems with that, and Whitaker wants to score his 3rd victory in CN International competition. The cool customer from Great Britain posts the 6th clear round of the day.
There's Here's Michael over that combination. You can see it, even for this horse, it was tight, but he rode it very well, and he did have the advantage. A smaller horse, a smaller stride, a little bit easier to control. Way up and over the last obstacle.
So 6 clear rounds and 6 4-faulters advance to the second round of the CN International. The final of the clears posted by that man, Michael Whitaker of Great Britain. Here's the order of go that the 12 that have advanced to the CN International will return for second round competition, carrying their penalties from the first round. Jos Lansink, the slowest of the 4-faulters to return. Canada's Ian Miller, the fastest of the cleans, will come in last. 7 nations represented, Linda, including 4 Americans taking up those 12 slots. Jos Lansink first to go. What does the leadoff rider do? Make the rest come to him?
Well, the leadoff rider wants to post another clear because it is the combined scores of the first round and the second round. So they really want to come in and put the pressure on. It is a completely different course. A lot of power in this course, even more so than the first round. The riders know that the money is now on the line. They've basically pre-qualified for this, so they're focused.
Every rail now costs thousands of dollars. This course, 450 meters, time allowed 68 seconds, and Lansing has a rail early.
Careful into the triple combination. And now a new jump on course, the CN black planks. Some riders think that they may be a little bit diabolical, perhaps even the new bicycle jump. A big double oxer combination there.
Really stretching out there, Turbo was. Fence number 4 and number 8 have come down, currently sitting on 8 faults plus 4 from the first round, and he is going to be tight on the time. In fact, he does not make it in under the time allowed, so 1 time fault to 8 jumping faults here in the second round. There's the 2-round total with his second round time, Jos Lansing.
This line is very difficult. A sharp turn to a dry ditch, triple bar. Look at Jos Lansing's horse, Turbo, really reach over it. And then it's a hard right hand to the British flag vertical. There's the diabolical plank, the CN jump.
They've never had a horse jump them clean in their history, as they're debuting right now in the CN International, and the planks are 1-0, and that's against the world champion, Jos Lansing. Let's see if Laura Kraut can leave that, I guess it would be sort of mental slip-up of the first round behind her, having the first fence down. She returns aboard Anthem from the United States. This is Laura Kraut.
De los Estados Unidos, Laura Kraut con el 2.92 Anthem. Laura trae consigo 4 faltas de la primera ronda.
You can hear talking to Anthem, saying, whoa, settle down. The use of the voice is a very important tool. It does settle the horses, makes them, relax, especially when the crowd is as enthusiastic as we have here at Spruce Meadows.
Powering through the triple combination. Anthem so far fault-free as they turn back towards the CN planks.
She's over them.
But not over 9A of the in and out, as Laura Kraut tacks another 4 faults onto her 2-round total. But she does move into the lead, just under the time allowed. 8 faults over 2 rounds, so she moves ahead of Jos Lansing, and the United States leads after 2 of the 12 have gone.
Here's a great shot of the triple combination. Anthem clearing it by a mile. Right there, a little long, the hind legs just dragging ever so slightly through that front rail. It comes down.
Couldn't quite cover that wide oxer. Nonetheless, 8 faults over 2 rounds, leads the way with her countryman Jeffrey Wells getting ready to go aboard Armani. Jeffrey Wells brings with him 4 faults from the first round of competition. In the event of equality of faults, we should point out it's the first round time that breaks those ties. So they'll all be cognizant of their pace or starting position here. Jeffrey will have been the fastest of the 3 we've seen so far in the first round of competition.
Clear so far.
Now we've seen an early rail and we've seen a late rail. Right now, Jeffrey Wells has put together a very nice round as he turns back towards the CN planks.
No problems for Jeffrey. The double oxer combination.
Jane handled. So we could have a clear-cut leader here on 4 faults if he can handle this last line. Ouch. Snake bitten. 4 faults at the Skinny Browns. Jeffrey Wells does not get it done. So he is 8 faults over 2 rounds, but very quick around the course, and he didn't look like he was carrying that much pace.
It doesn't look like that he's carrying very much pace, but he's very smooth and he keeps his turns very tight. Right there, the vertical coming down. Those are dark rails, and with a white gate at the bottom, the horses tend to take their eye off the top rail, look to the bottom, and that's why you see that jump come down quite a bit.
Well, Jeffrey Wells' day is done, as is Laura Kraut's, unless we jump off with 8 faults, and Laura Kraut is standing by with Robin Reed. Laura Kraut probably kicking herself for that first fence down in the first round, otherwise she'd be leading outright. As it stands, she's tied equal first, as Will Simpson is underway with El Campion's Tosca, and he has an early rail, fence number 2.
Again, Will needs to keep it at 1 jump down. He's got to focus, really make sure his horse tries hard, because 4 faults, you know, he's equally tied at this point with Laura Kraut. And Jeffrey Wells coming into the triple combination. He's really struggling through there.
Had to cowboy through the C element there. Will Simpson giving the mare her head, and now takes a wide berth back to the CN planks. That will cost some time. Goes to the throttle on the latter stages of the course, gets in under the time allowed, knowing it would be tight after the problems he encountered at the triple. As you can see, 12 faults in the second round with the rail in the first for a 2-round total of 16.
Right there, going to the buckle, defensive move. He knows he's in trouble the whole way through. Tosca was not comfortable, stuttering off the ground, and that makes the horse have to really reach, and that can be problematic.
Well, heartbreak very much a part of sport this year. Will Simpson perhaps is the heartbreak kid. In 2002, it was Molly Ash of the United States who provided.
I remember very clearly walking the course for the second round with Conrad Homfeld, who helps me, and him saying after every line that we walked or every fence, wow, this is really big. This is as tough as it gets. I've never seen a course this big. And when I went through the double Liverpools, and then it was 7 strides to the the bicycle fence. And she hit the bicycle fence behind. And I didn't hear the rail fall, and I started to go back, you know, to the final fence, and then the crowd, I heard the crowd go, oh, and I so distinctly remember Utopia, my horse, and we both went, like, for 1 second, and then rode on to the last fence, and it really distracted both of us, because I thought, oh my God, it did fall, and I didn't know that it didn't fall until I went through the timers and looked back. I thought I might have had the last 2 fences down. It really was, it's one of the best moments in my career so far. Just having the horse rise to that level and perform at that level was, for me so far, it's as close as I've come to an Olympic Games or, you know, a WEG or something like that. And having the horse really just turn it on for that event.
Well, that last rail down for Lutopia opened the door for Otto Becker to win the CN International aboard his great stallion. That was the last time Germany claimed victory in this event. Looking to change that will be our next entry on course now. Holger Wunschner aboard Clausen. This is a 10-year-old Holsteiner gelding. 4 faults from the first round. This is the tail swisher, Linda.
This is the tail swisher. That tail doesn't ever seem to stop. It's not my favorite type of horse to watch. However, usually horses like this that are swishing their tails, they're listening, they're attentive, and they're trying their guts out.
This is a real traditional style German show jumper.
It is lots of power. Holger, really sitting back and creating a lot of power from this horse.
Not having enough power to get over the CN planks. 4 faults. That's their first faults in this second round. So another 2-round total of 8. This time it's Germany that has 4 faults over 2 rounds.
We could have a jump off with 8 faults.
We still have those clears to return, but here's what happened to Holger Wunschner.
There's the CN plank coming down.
The second round of the CN International proving to be a worthy test. Double clears, a rare commodity indeed. We have yet to see a double clear. I'm not sure we will. Here's a man that maybe doesn't realize the door that's open for him, Linda. The fastest of the 4 fault performers from Holland, Leopold van Asten. And if he jumps a clear here, he'll move into the lead outright. But it's his time from the first round that's so important with the clears still to come.
Well, the way this Grand Prix works is everybody jumps the first round. The top 12, and if there's ties, the fastest of the 4s come back. Then, if there's an equality of faults, except for first place, it is the time from the first round that decides your placing. So we're looking for clear rounds, but Leopold, if he jumps, oh, right there, I jinxed him.
Costly rail, as he was the fastest of all of the first round horses at 72.98, but now he's sitting on 8 faults over 2 rounds.
And like I said before, we could have a jump off with 8 faults. This course, the second round course, is very demanding. It's shorter, but a lot of power is being asked of these horses. Stamina as well.
Course designer Leopoldo Palacios does not like to see a jump off in the biggest Grand Prix in the world. Right now we'd be jumping off with 8 faults, but we still have 6 horses to come with clear scorecards from the first round of competition. Leopold van Asten could not get it done in the second round. So we have yet to see a horse rider combination master this second round track. Canada's Erin Ballard riding a dream at the Masters tournament, delivering her Cavaliers salute. And now the 25-year-old from Ontario wants to focus on posting a second double clear. If she does that, the pressure goes to the rest of the field because she would then lead the $1 million CN International. We have yet to see a clear round here in round number 2. Ideal conditions here at Spruce Meadows as the afternoon shadows start to stretch on the international ring. 24 degrees Celsius, more than 60,000 people on hand.
This young lady has had a career-making week here at Spruce Meadows, being a part of the Nations Cup winning team. First time Canada's won in 30 years. Jumping a clear round in the first round of the CN International. What does she have to do? She has to hold it together. She needs to settle this horse down, make sure she can control him towards the end of the course.
Into the Athens Olympic combination.
She's gone wide, rolling back to the CN vertical. Ooh, a strong ride there.
Tried to tee him up, it looked like.
Yeah. And that's where this horse will get away from Aaron. If she rides strong, then it takes a while for her to get him back.
Oh, problems now. She's gone from clear to 8. Judges count that a jumping effort, and now 12. And that's how quickly your fortunes can change in international show jumping. The smile is gone.
Well, it really just started when she was rolling back to the CN vertical. Right there, she really took an aggressive move there. She went wide instead of keeping the turn tight, and which will hold this horse together a little bit, and then just falls apart towards the end. The horse really taking control, and that's what this horse will do, but this girl will get a hold of that, and she will come back a better rider.
Little lockjaw near the latter stages of the competition, and their chemistry was thrown off, and with that 12 jumping faults, from the lead to the bottom of the round of 12 goes Erin Ballard of Canada. It's a long walk out of the International Stadium, but that young lady should enjoy it. She's had a tremendous debut at the Masters tournament, as has the young Dutchman Leopold van Asten, who is standing by in the international warm-up area with Robin Reed. Satisfied he should be here in the $1 million CN International. He's still very much in the hunt for some top prize money here, as Eugénie Angot is underway from France. Second of our clear rounds coming in now. She's the lone wolf from France at this year's Masters tournament, and she has carried the red, white, and blue admirably.
Nicely through the triple combination.
They're starting to take this trip through the Liverpools to set up for the CN planks.
Could affect the time allowed.
This mare doesn't look tired, though.
Beautifully over the double oxer combination. 2 jumps to go, and she could clearly go into the lead.
There's the leader. The time, however, Linda, look at that. That will be very interesting. 1 time fault, and it's not unprecedented to have 1 time fault over 2 rounds win this event. Still plenty of horsepower to come.
Here's the look of concentration on Eugénie. Down the last line, last obstacle. And she's sure she's clear, but the time does catch up with her.
Well, she took that wide berth to set up for the black panels, the CN wall, and that may have cost her the time, but I'm sure she'll take a time fault as opposed to jumping faults here, because the rest now have the pressure on them. 1 fault over 2 rounds for Eugénie Angot of France. Beezy Madden to defend her title. It's pretty clear now. They have to jump clear of the rest of this field if they have a shot at victory today. Beezy Madden, who also has that added $50,000 of pressure on her in the CN Precision Series. She is off aboard De Silvio.
De los Estados Unidos, Beezy Madden con De Silvio.
So we know now that our 8 falters will not be jumping off. They'll be busy checking their first round times to see how the paychecks get divvied up. Beezy takes the inside corner here. It's a big horse to turn tightly.
Double oxers. She's close. 2 jumps to go. Oh!
That was a light touch, and down it came. Costly, as Beezy Madden will not defend the title. Look at the time, no problem there. There rarely is with this great veteran from the United States. but 4 faults over 2 rounds. Into second place she goes.
Here's the triple combination. De Silvio jumps it so easy. Where she has trouble is the skinny vertical with that white gate at the bottom and the dark rails on top. And look at how close the crowd is. Just ever so slightly touches it with his front foot.
What a light rub. Well, there's 3 entries left to go that can affect the final standings here. Eugenie Angot of France leads the way, and she's standing by with Robin Reed. Well, it's a good day to be crazy good for our entry from France. The waiting game now. She's kicking herself for the time fault, Linda, because still to come, Gerko Schroeder, Michael Whitaker, and Ian Miller.
3 great names of the sport, and wouldn't it be neat in the Nations Cup this year at Spruce Meadows, Michael Whitaker and Ian Miller jump off. Could it come down to a jump off again today in the CN International?
Well, the year that Jos Lansing won this event with Kumano, he won with 1 time fault. We all know that Mr. Palacios hates to see a jump off on the biggest day in the sport. Really drifting there, but Gerko gets Milano back on track.
Well, and we're talking about Ian Miller and Michael Whitaker, but what about Gerko? He can do it. He's right there, and I jinxed him.
And as quickly as that, he's out of play.
But he's not out of play. He's got 4 faults. He needs to finish the course with 4 faults. It will put him into a good position. He has a fast time from the first round.
And he is aware of that. He finishes up in 66.74, 2-round total of 4 faults. And he currently is in second place.
Leans a bit forward, and the horse just flicks it off with the front legs. What the rider does want us to do is stay a little bit behind the motion so those front legs come up a little bit more.
Well, the Dutch have been denied their first victory ever in the CN International. Our defending champion, Beezy Madden, will not defend the title. She's standing by with Robin Reed. Well, the waiting game is going to get tougher for Eugenie Angot. The last 2 entries have 4 championships between them here. Michael Whitaker and Ian Miller. Whitaker last won the event with Everest two-step back in 1995, and he is underway now.
Well, like I said, I think it would be fantastic to have a Michael Whitaker, Ian Miller jump off 2 days in a row here at Spruce Meadows. And with that, 4 faults.
Interesting, over the dry ditch there, the stallion just seemed to get confused.
And the horse is bucking.
Going to gear up here, get across that finish line. No, it appears we have time faults here for Michael Whitaker. Here in the second round of competition, 5 will be the total, 4 plus 1 for 5 faults over 2 rounds for Great Britain's Michael Whitaker.
Right there, the horse does a double take with his front legs, doesn't realize how wide the jump is, and it comes down. Now that time fault could be extremely costly for Michael because he was the fastest rider before Ian Miller, so he could be in second place, but that right now puts him into 4th place.
A difference of $125,000 in prize money as Ian Miller revs up the motor as the final entry to go here in the CN International. 2-time champion with Big Ben. There's our current leader looking on from the international warm-up area, waiting. She didn't think it would hold. Miller has to go clear. And he is carrying the weight of a nation for a second day in a row.
And you can hear a pin drop in this stadium right now. They are all riding with Ian because they want nothing more than for Ian Miller to win this Grand Prix. Nicely through the triple. Ooh, beautiful.
Beautifully ridden. Well set up.
You can hear them. Can he do it? Come on, Ian.
4 faults. Fait accompli for France. There is the champion. She could not believe it as Ian Miller brings in style home, sitting on 4 faults. Oh, and make it 8. So a drop like gravity here at Spruce Meadows.
But there is your unassuming winner, Eugenie Angot from France. Ian Miller finishing up with 8 faults. Saluting the crowd that was riding with him every step of the way. Ian Miller has had a great Spruce Meadows tournament with the Nations Cup win, but this young lady is the winner of $325,000, one-time fault. Lots of hugs and kisses for Eugenie Angot, but you know what was interesting? 5 clear rounds come back into the second round of competition. Gerko Schroeder, the fastest of the 4 faulters, having 4 faults in the second round, finishes in second place. Beezy Madden in third. Both 4 faulters, that time fault of Michael Whitaker's, very costly indeed. Eugenie Angot of France is with Ian Allison in the winner's circle.
Ladies and gentlemen, on a magical day at Spruce Meadows to conclude the 2006 season, we have a spectacular winner in the CN International from France, Eugenie Angot. First time to the victor goes the spoils, and I will take that back in trust and invite the 2 of you to step forward and, as has become the tradition, hoist the CN International trophy from our champions podium. Ladies and gentlemen, 2006 champion of the CN International.
Over 60,000 fans spilling onto the international ring at Spruce Meadows to witness the $1 million CN International. It was looking like it would be another showdown between Ian Miller and Michael Whitaker, but it was not to be. A special horse, the Little Grasshopper, and an unassuming lady representing France, finishing with 1 time fault. She didn't think that the 1 fault would hold up, but it did, delivering Eugenie Angot $325,000. What a spectacular day of competition. Now, on behalf of Ian Allison and Robin Reed, I'm Linda Heffroth. So long from Spruce Meadows.